Oh my god, I literally just have to touch the pedal and it is face through the dashboard. Okay, morning. I am doing brakes again. Now, if any of you follow my Instagram, you may have noticed I put a picture up of front brakes being changed. I'm sort of halfway through the job. I didn't want to film every part of it because you've probably seen about 1 million brake caliper videos. But in this video, I'm just going to show you a little bit about a couple of little odd things I'm doing. I'm going to show you part of doing the rear brakes again, although I've made a video of that before, so I'm not going to go into too much detail. And I want to give you a little tip for putting the brake caliper dust boots back on pistons and getting them in calipers. I rebuilt the front calipers, so they've got brand new pistons, they've got brand new dust seals, they've got brand new piston seals, they've got brand new everything basically. So I'm pretty happy. The front brakes feel great, but I need to get the backs done, I need to get the shoes done, and I need to change the brake hoses. So out here we have got a little selection of parts. Now down here we've got some brake shoe hardware and brake shoes. We've got a new master cylinder, I'll come back to that. We've got rear brake discs and we've got rear braided brake lines, and in here we have got rear red stuff pads. I've gone for red stuffs because I don't need to go crazy and have yellow stuffs and have loads of dust. The red stuffs, although I have read they are dusty, they shouldn't be quite as bad as the yellows. And I have gone with just standard discs. Now I have quite a strong opinion on brake discs and grooves and drill holes in brake discs. I believe they're great provided you spend a fortune on them, which I'm not prepared to do for a car that's primarily a road car and a daily driver. I think if you cheap out on drilled rotors or drilled discs, you suffer cracking around the holes. I've seen it too many times. I don't think the benefit it provides is worth the downside. So on the front here, we've got standard, regular flat but vented discs. We've got fully rebuilt front brake caliper, painted up with a bit of Hammerite paint, which will probably burn off when they get hot enough, but who cares. Red stuff pads, Martin Lewis braided brake hoses. Now if you're in the UK, sorry, not Martin Lewis, let me correct myself, that's Matt Lewis. If you're in the UK, this guy sells hoses on eBay. I've so far used one of his clutch lines, and I've got a kit for the whole car for the brake lines. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. Good price, fast service. I'm not endorsed by him obviously, but I just wanted to let you know, if you feel like you're going to go for it and you want to go with EBC or Goodridge or Hell hoses, there ain't nothing wrong with these Matt Lewis ones. So I've got some more of them for the back here, guys. Let's just pull one out and I'll show you the quality. So this is how they come. They're really nicely made, bit of heat shrink with his logo on, which always looks pretty ticking when you've got things on the car. They are braided brake hose covered with a silicone rubber tube, so they should be fairly durable, and provided they're fitted right, should get a good result. So I'm going to just crack on with this today. I'm going to get as much as I can done, but I want to show you first of all a tip for doing the brake dust boots, even though I don't actually need to rebuild the rear calipers. And then I'm going to show you a little bit about master cylinders. Now, I've got one down there. It's not a 328 one, and I may be about to make a big mistake, but I'm going to try something. Something I don't like about the BMW is the brake pedal feel. It's a squishy brake pedal, which is really nice and progressive, but I like a hard brake pedal. I like being able to just nib the brakes a tiny bit and it starts braking for me. I don't have much confidence with E36 brakes, and a thing that a lot of people do is they put M3 master cylinders on when they put the E36 330 brake conversion on, the bigger discs, the bigger calipers, because you need that extra piston to push the extra fluid. I'm going to try and put an M3 master cylinder on my 328 setup. It may completely cock up the brake bias, it may feel wooden, but you don't know unless you try. I've got a little secret for it though. I'm hoping it gives me the pedal feel I want. Another little thing I'm just going to show you whilst I'm in this video is I have a new toy. I've got an air gun set up, I've got an air impact wrench, I have a whopping great air hose, and in here I have an SGS 50 litre air compressor. I actually bought a whole kit of like really cheap air tools to go with my compressor. So I've got an air die grinder, which is really good for getting all this crusty rust off calipers. Just to give you a little idea, 60 quid I paid for, yeah, check the goggles out, it's hilarious, isn't it? 60 quid I paid for like a die grinder, an air line, an air ratchet, an air hammer, like a chisel thing, and I mean, could spend all day doing this, but I'm not interested really, to be quite frank. I'm only giving them a quick refurb so I can put them on the back of the car and they look half decent. So the ones you've seen in front have had exactly the same treatment, bit of hammerite paint. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, probably going to get another pair of calipers somewhere down the road, so what's the point in going crazy with these? I think we're pretty much ready to get them back in the car now, so much ado without nothing, we're nearly done the brakes. Okay, so I've got the head cam on because it's easier to show you this with both my hands. You might notice a sound change. I'm actually using a lapel mic now with the selfie stick, so this is back on the regular camera. I'm about halfway through this brake swap at the back of the car. It's taking me a bit longer than I thought because I'm having to make brake pipes. I promised that I would show you how to get the dust seal back on. So this is your caliper piston here, and there's your rear caliper. Now luckily in a BMW the front calipers and the rear calipers are essentially exactly the same thing. One's just smaller than the other. It doesn't have a handbrake mechanism inside the caliper, so this applies mainly for front calipers on most cars and rear caliper on a BMW. So we have the dust seal and we've got the caliper body and we've got the piston. Now the piston here is a hard chromed steel piston. This part here is hard chromed and it seals inside the piston bore with this rubber seal just here. This is a square cut rubber seal, and that's what makes the seal around the piston. So as long as the piston seal here and the piston outside diameter are nice and clean and free of rust like this one is, then that's going to work. Okay, so we need to get ready and put our dust seal on. The easiest way to do it is to put the dust seal on the piston like so, and then pull it down past its groove so that the dust seal is hanging right off the end of the piston. Okay, so we want to go right to the very end as close as we dare. We then take the groove, which is inside the caliper body here, and we're going to lay the piston in, and we're going to seat that dust seal all the way around. If we use a tool, we've got to be real careful not to bust open that seal. We get it all the way in, right, so it looks something like this. We got it all the way in there, yes we do. Okay, and then literally all we do is we're going to work the piston in. And all being well, it should go in relatively easily, he says. There we go. So as it starts to go in, it's going to draw the seal up. There we go. And as you saw there, it pops straight into the piston bore. And as you push this piston right in and seat it home, that dust seal is going to seat itself back again into the upper groove. Okay, so a bit of fiddling about, a little bit of manipulating, and you've got a dust seal that's sitting in there absolutely beautifully. A quick update, I know the light is really bad here, but we have got our new brake lines on with our braided Matt Lewis lines in on. This is just on the driver's side. I've got our brake shoes in. You need to clean so we can make sure that they're nice and spotless. I'm going to get a disc on now, pads on, caliper on, and then make a start on the other side. It's taken me it's taken me far too bloody long so far, but we're getting there. It's just making all the brake lines, you've got to take your time, you can't really rush it. So I've got a good tool, let's keep cracking away with it. We're about 2.5 hours in at this point. Yeah, hopefully not too much longer. I've already started making brake lines for the other side, so yeah, let's see how we get on. Right, okay, so we had a microphone failure here, so I'm going to do a voiceover. Basically at this point I'm just showing you that I've got the driver's side assembled, and I'm going to start looking at the master cylinder, just giving a little M50 manifold a little stroke there. I'm really happy with that, by the way, it's excellent. Right, so this is the standard 328 master cylinder. The differences that we've got is we've got a BMW E34 master cylinder, which is exactly the same as an M3 E36 master cylinder, same bore diameter. The reason I'm changing it, as you might have just seen there, is I've got a little bit of paint coming off from the inside, well, from the join between the master cylinder and the brake booster, so it looks like it might be leaking. The first thing we need to account for on this difference here is the master cylinder I've got has two 10mm fittings, and this one here has a 12mm and a 10mm. So we need to adapt the 12 on the E34 master cylinder. The E34's got two 10s. So I've bought a brass adapter which knocks up the M10 thread to an M12, and then the only other difference really is the reservoir. and the angle of one of the pipes. Right, so on the bench we've got the master cylinder here. Now you can see the angle of that pipe I was talking about, and you can just about make out the adapter there. What we're doing here is we're bench bleeding the master cylinder. We want to get a bit of fluid in there before we actually put it on the car so that we can get it to work properly without having to bleed like crazy. I'm pointing out here as well the difference between where the reservoir attaches. The 328 reservoir contact points where it goes into the master cylinder are further back on the cylinder. The E34 one, you need the E34 reservoir because, as you can see I'm pointing out here, it's almost flush with the brake booster. I think if you were to try and use the brake booster off of the 328, you would have difficulty because the reservoir would get in the way. I'm just pointing out there the adapter that I've got, so that's an M12 down to an M10 adapter. And I've got a couple of bungs in there because what I'm basically doing is I'm putting some fluid in the top, pushing in the piston, bringing it back out again, and I don't want the fluid to go everywhere. So yeah, we're not really sure if this is going to work at this point, but we've got to give it a shot because it only cost me about £50. I got this much cheaper than you get an M3 master cylinder, so you know it's a bit smart, and we'll see what happens with it. I'm just pointing out here the clutch line. So on this car it was obviously come off an automatic, this reservoir, so that just needs to be nipped off. You can see another port there which I've just left connected together. That's obviously for, I think, an old traction control system. Right, so we've had a clean up, and something we need to do before we put this master cylinder on in place of the 328 is have a little look at these. So this is my 328 one, okay, as you can see. You can see quite clearly what I was talking about with the ports being close to the bulkhead on one and not so much on the other. The main problem we've got is illustrated quite clearly here. We have quite a big difference in the length of the piston itself. Now, the piston is actuated by way of a pin that sits inside of here. If you can sort of see down in there, I don't know if you can make that out on YouTube, but if you can, inside there there's like a hemisphere which the rod from the brake booster you push sits on. So what I basically need to do is try and make sure I have the same length in both of these. I've done a lot of measuring up, and the depth of this one, but as you can see it's quite clearly a big difference in depth there, and that equates to about 15mm, I think. Yeah, that's 15mm. So what that essentially means is this tube is too long. So what we need to do is we need to cut this one down by 15mm. We've got a mark on there already. I'm just going to double check that mark by lining them up. So what we're going to do is we're going to nib the end off of this from that line forwards. We want to go just shy of this mark. And we'll go very, very carefully. There we are. That's basically it. So now we want to have a quick check of this on our 328 master. The total length of the whole assembly from the booster down is 75mm, and on this we are 75mm. And then the depth where the piston sits should equate to exactly the same depth as this one here, which is almost bang on. I've maybe gone a tiny micron shy there too long, but I'd rather do that than have it too short. Right, so at this point it's fitted. You can see it sits on there beautifully. Again, you can see how close that reservoir is to the brake booster. Give it a quick clean up. Always make sure you work clean with your brakes, guys. You don't want contamination getting in there. As I come around this side, you should be able, I think, to see the angle of the rear pipe there. Now, bending brake lines, go gentle with them, but the little tip I want to give you is make sure that your brake line lines up as well as you possibly can with the port it needs to go into. When you then screw in the union, it should go in easily without having to force it and cross thread it. There you go. So there's an E34 master cylinder. Yeah, it feels great. It feels very, very powerful. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, fucking hell, man.
Is it like when you use your left foot to brake?
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Oh my god, I literally just have to touch the pedal and it is face through the dashboard. Well, not quite, but it's close. It's nice and progressive. It works beautifully. It still has an excellent amount of travel in it, and I would recommend it to anyone out there if you want a slightly stiffer brake pedal. There you go, guys. E36 brakes, done with braided brake hoses, and an E34 master cylinder. Sweet.